My name is Dr. Rodney Hood. I'm a physician of internal medicine. I was born and raised in Roxbury, Massachusetts, graduated from pharmacy school in Boston. When I left Boston and moved to San Diego, where I graduated from medical school, becoming the first African American to graduate from the University of California Medical School. It is my honor to read the story of one of my personal heroes. As a young man, we all have heroes, and Muhammad Ali was certainly one of mine. The story of Muhammad Ali. All it took was a bully stealing this young brother's bike to activate the ancestral bloodline of greatness he was born in. The police officer that the young Cassius Clay reported his bike stolen eventually would be the same man who would train him and see that he never got bullied again. Officer Martin had never seen a 12-year-old work so hard and train so much. Every morning, the young Cassius raced the school bus to campus, and he ate healthy every day. It didn't take long for him to have to put his training on display. By the time young Cassius had turned 18, he became a 6-time National Golden Gloves champion and won a gold medal at the 1960 Olympic Games by defeating a fighter from Poland. The brother became an American hero when he won a match against British heavyweight champion Mr. Cooper in 1963. He then knocked out Sonny Liston in 1964 to become the heavyweight champion of the world, stating his famous phrase, "Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee." The next day, the young Cassius announced he would be called Muhammad Ali after talking with his teacher, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. In 1967, Muhammad Ali refused military induction for the Vietnam War because he was a humanitarian. As a result, the US government wanted to put him in jail. They banned him from boxing for over 3 years. However, in 1971, he won his appeal. He was exonerated, making him free to go back to boxing. In 1974, while in Africa, on the continent of Africa, he got his title back in front of over 60,000 Africans at the Rumble in the Jungle, beating the undefeated champion, Mr. George Foreman. But the greatest fight he fought came a year later in the Philippines, called the Thriller in Manila. It was Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier in the final boxing match to see who the greatest was. Muhammad Ali was victorious again. 3 years later, he faced another championship rematch in New Orleans, Louisiana, against the champion Leon Spinks. Muhammad not only won, but was the only heavyweight to win title 3 times. Muhammad Ali not only was one of our greatest sports figures of the 20th century, but also one of the greatest humanitarians. He was also one of my personal heroes, who I am proud to say I actually got to meet several times while in San Diego. I had dinner with him, and I was able to tell him a story. When I grew up in Boston, I heard some of his same teachers. I heard Malcolm X, who taught him while in Boston. I heard Minister Louis Farrakhan, who taught him. When I was in college, he converted to Islam. And I remember when he refused to join the army. And when they asked him, "Why did you refuse to join the army?" This was unique for a Black man. He said, "I never had the Viet Cong call me the N-word." And coming from Boston, where I grew up, I used to believe the N-word was my middle name. So when I then graduated from college and was placed on the draft list, he was here. And I knew I was going to be a conscientious objector. If a Black man was able to stand up to the system and believe that the social justice fight was here at home rather than abroad, that was where I was coming from. So he gave me the courage to take that stand. Fortunately, I got accepted to medical school and I actually got a medical deferment. But while in medical school, I again heard the teachings and I actually went to medical school as Rodney Hood, but graduated Rodney X. While I was Rodney X as a member of the Nation of Islam, I got to meet Muhammad Ali, one of my personal heroes, in person several times. So reading this story is not just a story, it's personal.